I stayed in silence while my life fell apart. It started small, like a crack in the foundation of a house you ignore because fixing it seems too much hassle. My name is Alex, and I've always been the type to avoid waves. Keep the peace, my mother used to say, her voice a whisper in our tense family home. She'd smile through gritted teeth while Dad drank himself into oblivion, and we all pretended everything was fine. I learned early that confrontation was the enemy. Better to swallow the bile and move on. I met Sarah in college, a whirlwind of energy with her wild curls and infectious laugh. She was everything I wasn't. Bold, outspoken, the kind of person who'd argue with a professor over a grade and win. Me. I'd nod and accept whatever came my way. We balanced each other, or so I thought. We graduated, got married in a quiet ceremony. Nothing flashy because why rock the boat? And settled into a cozy apartment in the suburbs. Jobs followed, me in accounting, her in marketing. Steady, predictable lives. The first sign was the late nights. Sarah's job demanded more hours, she said. Client dinners, team-building events. I'd come home to an empty house, heat up leftovers and wait. When she'd stumble in smelling of wine and perfume that wasn't hers, I'd ask casually, "Good night." She'd kiss my cheek and say, "Exhausting but fun." I'd smile and let it go. Confrontation. No, that would lead to arguments, tears, maybe worse. Better to trust her. Months blurred into years. Our conversations shortened to logistics. Bills, groceries, whose turn to walk the dog we eventually got. A golden retriever named Max, who became my silent companion. Sarah's phone buzzed constantly. Messages she'd glance at and silence. Once I saw a name flash. Mark, her coworker. My stomach twisted, but I pushed it down. It's nothing, I told myself. Don't be paranoid. Work wasn't much better. My boss, Mr. Hargrove, was a tyrant wrapped in a suit. He'd pile on tasks, deadlines impossible, and when I missed one, because how could I not? He'd berate me in meetings. Colleagues whispered sympathies, but no one spoke up. I certainly didn't. Just do your job, I'd think, echoing my mother's ghost. Promotions went to louder voices, the ones who demanded recognition. I stayed in my cubicle, head down, watching opportunities slip by. Then came the day Sarah didn't come home. Her text. Staying at a friend's. Need space. Space. From what? I paced the living room, Max whining at my feet. Call her. Demand answers. No, that wasn't me. I replied. Okay, love you. She didn't respond. The next morning, she returned with red-rimmed eyes. We need to talk, she said. My heart sank. Over coffee, she confessed. An affair with Mark. It had been going on for a year. You never fight for us, she said, tears streaming. You just accept everything. I feel like I'm living with a ghost. I stared at my mug, the steam blurring my vision. Fight. I'd been fighting, in silence, by not making things worse. But her words hit like a freight train. She wanted passion, fire, even anger. Anything but my placid acceptance. We tried therapy. The counselor, a soft-spoken woman named Dr. Ellis, prodded gently. Alex, why do you avoid expressing your feelings? Shrugged. It's easier. Sarah snorted. Easier for who? Sessions dragged on, but I clammed up when it mattered. Sarah moved out a month later, taking half the furniture and Max, because, she said, he needed someone who'd play with him, not just feed him. Alone in the empty apartment. Silence echoed louder than any shout. Bills piled up. I'd been so focused on not rocking the boat that I hadn't noticed our savings dwindling. Sarah had been handling finances, or so I thought. Turns out her client dinners included lavish expenses on a company card she'd maxed out. Creditors called, I let them go to voicemail. At work, Hargrove announced layoffs. My name was on the list. Performance issues, he said. I could have fought it, pointed out the overtime, the uncredited projects, but I nodded, signed the papers, and left with a cardboard box of desk trinkets. Unemployed, divorced, I moved back to my childhood home. Mom was gone. Dad in a nursing home, still drinking. The house was a relic of avoidance. Peeling wallpaper, leaky roof. I sat in the dim living room, staring at walls that had witnessed so many unspoken grievances. Friends, the few I had, drifted away. They'd invite me out, but I'd decline, fearing the awkward questions. "How's Sarah?" "Fine," I'd lie until they stopped asking. One night, scrolling through social media, I saw Sarah's post. Engaged to Mark, beaming in a photo from some exotic vacation. Jealousy burned, but deeper was regret. If I'd spoken up, confronted the late nights, the distance, maybe things would be different. Depression crept in, a fog I couldn't shake. Doctor-prescribed pills. I took them sporadically. Why fight? Life was a series of losses anyway. Then a turning point, a letter from Dad. Shaky handwriting. "Son, I messed up. Your mom deserved better. Don't be like me." He died a week later. At the funeral, sparse attendance, I realized my silence had isolated me. I started small. Joined a support group for divorcees. Sharing my story, voice trembling, felt like ripping off a bandage. People nodded, shared back. It hurt, but it healed. Got a new job, entry level, but I spoke up in meetings. When a colleague stole credit, I confronted him privately. No fireworks, just firm words. He apologized, respect followed. Reconnected with old friends. Apologized for ghosting. Some forgave. Others didn't. That was okay. Confrontation meant accepting outcomes. Years later, I met Lena at a coffee shop. She spilled her latte on my shoes. I laughed instead of brushing it off. Talked, really talked. When issues arose, I voiced them. Our relationship grew strong, built on honesty. Looking back, silence was my cage. Cost me my marriage, job, connections. But breaking free taught me. Avoidance isn't peace. It's surrender. The lesson. Confrontation isn't destruction. It's the bridge to understanding and growth. Speak up or watch your world crumble in quiet.